Hi guys, as you may have noticed, it looks like I finally got a webcam, which I have. I'm borrowing my grandmother's until I get my own computer, but for now, I was watching the Alex Reid's Twilight book, the only read one, and I thought that I might as well continue the legacy, and then I'll pass it on to another YouTuber to do the next book. But I've got New Moon in my hands right here. I've never read it before, so this will be a learning experience for the 2% of you that haven't read this book series or seen the movies or anything. Right, as you also may have noted, I'm not wearing glasses, and I probably won't for the rest of the video. Anyway, we're going to get on in this. I'm going to read the back. I knew we were both in mortal danger. Still, in that instant, I felt well. Oh, you felt well? Oh, I can't believe I'm reading this. I could feel my heart racing in my chest, the blood pulsing hard and fast through my veins again. My lungs filled deep with the sweet scent that came off his skin. It was like there had never been any hole in my chest. I was perfect, not healed, but as if there had never been a wound in the first place. Oh my goodness gracious, I'm really actually reading this. Okay, alright, well, chapter 1, it's called Party. I was 99.9% sure I was dreaming. The reasons I was so certain were, first, I was standing in a bright shaft of sunlight. Okay, because there's no sun in the real world. Oh, okay, apparently it rains a lot in its hometown. Guess that is kind of special or something. Second, she was looking at her Grandma Marie. Gran had been dead for 6 years now, so that was solid evidence towards the dream theory. Now it's got like 4 pages until she realizes it is in fact a dream while she talks to herself, as though it weren't a dream, and she's trying to talk to her Gran. Oh, what are you doing here? You're dead. And then Edward shows up and he's sparkling. Turns out Gran was her the whole time, and it was a mirror. She didn't notice the giant framed mirror until the absolute end of the dream. At the end, Edward whispers, "Happy birthday," which it turns out when she wakes up it is her birthday, and she spends the next 3 pages telling herself it's only a dream. Then she goes off to school. She has to pretend to be happy on her birthday. She's really quite miserable about it. Okay, I don't really know what there is that you would really be interested in actually hearing me read, because this book is so rubbish. Apparently Alice has some super vampire powers as well as Edward. Edward can read minds, just for review, and Alice can see the future. But as, you know, Alex already said, she can only see the future until you change your mind, then the entire future changes, which is, you know, not really a power at all. Now she spends the next 2 pages trying to get out of a birthday party that she's going to go to anyway, and complaining about how she's older than Edward, who's in fact a 200-some-year-old vampire, so she's really got a lot of years before she passes that. Talking about how rich Edward is, talking about how she wants to be a vampire and Edward wants to save her soul, and she's bitching because Edward's quite a cruel person for wanting her to remain whole and soulful. What a terrible person Edward is. And they're at lunch, something about Romeo and Juliet. Now they're going home, and Edward's making fun of Bella's radio, which I'm sure is very, very important to the storyline. We're going to hear more about that later. something making fun of Romeo and Juliet that came back. Talking about how Edward wanted to commit suicide for some reason. Oh, the Volturi. Here we go. The Volturi are a family, he explained, his eyes still remote. A very old, very powerful family of our kind. They're the closest thing our world has to a royal family, I suppose. The centuries old, Carly, the blonde angel. Apparently all vampires go to heaven. Ooh, new movie. Remained unchanged, and as I remembered the three others, Carly's early acquaintances, the sentence stops there. Edward never used the name Volturi for the beautiful trio, two black-haired, one snow-white. He'd call them Arrow, Caius, I don't know, and Marcus, nighttime patrons of the arts. Anyway, you don't irritate the Volturi. Not unless you want to die, or whatever it is we do. Pretty sure you get ripped apart and then thrown into a fire. Oh, Bella's been a bit selfless here. No matter what might ever happen to me, you are not allowed to hurt yourself. I'll never put you in danger again, so it's a moot point. Put me in danger? I thought we'd established that all this bad luck is my fault. Yes, it's bad luck that you went looking for a homicidal vampire that wanted to rip you apart. Well, they spend like 3 more pages of dialogue before they go to Edward's house. Esme hugged me carefully. What does that even mean, carefully? Rosalie and Emmett. What is with these weird names? You got Carly for a man. You've got Esme. Got Rosalie. Emmett. Alice, I think, is the most normal one, because Edward's a bit out of time. Although I guess he's a vampire, so it does have an excuse. It had been months since I'd seen them. I'd forgotten how gloriously beautiful Rosalie was. It almost hurt to look at her. Sorry, if someone's that beautiful that it physically hurts to look at them, doesn't that take away from the beauty factor? And something... Oh, apparently there's a guy named Jasper was there too. Blah blah blah. Blah, she's opening presents. Blah. Oh, good, we're on the last 2 pages of the chapter now. Fucking hell. Oh, darn. Bella's given herself a paper cut in a house full of vampires. Jasper tries to go and kill her, and then Edward's like, no! And then they have some sort of brawl. Edward manages to throw Bella backwards into a glass table, so now she's covered in cuts and feeling frenzy, I'm going to assume. Okay, here's the last sentence of this chapter. Dazed and disorientated, I looked up from the bright red blood pulsing out of my arm into the feathered eyes of the 6 suddenly ravenous vampires. So, looks like if there wasn't this much left of the book, I'd say Bella would have died like she should have, because it's a house full of ravenous vampires and she's pulsing out blood. Bloody hell. Well, that's the first chapter. I'll try and get to the next chapter when I've stopped feeling sick about the first one. And thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye.